the stile, Betsy, beyond the old oak tree. In the place we paused a while, Betsy, when I spoke of love for thee. Ah, meet me there at 9, Betsy, and I will woo thee well. And when your sweet eyes meet mine, Betsy, in heaven we shall dwell.
Oh, Mr. Dickens, extraordinary.
Yes, extraordinary is right.
There is something else, monsieur?
No, nothing at all. You've served us magnificently, LaSalle.
Thank you, monsieur.
In fact, from now on, you'll be known as La Grande Salle.
Thank you, monsieur, and good night.
Good night.
Good night, madame.
Good Lord, how long it is since I last sang a comic song. You know, you've lifted me up tonight, Miss Baldwin. You've lightened my heart. Oh, it's the greatest gift.
Thank you. But I've had a wonderful evening.
Had? You sound as if you're about to leave.
Mr. Dickens, I must confess that I did wonder a little bit at having dinner with you in your suite, but...
But you are a modern American young lady. And you knew very well I would not insult you by offering you outmoded gestures of false modesty, so?
Well, thank you for that anyway, but
Besides, you are a fellow journalist. Look, have one glass of Madeira before you leave, eh?
I think not. It really is quite late, and I...
One glass. One glass, please. And then I shall tell you of Charles Dickens' great ride from Chelmsford to Braintree to report on the elections of January 1835.
Is that an exciting story?
It's an absurd one. I drove a gig at full gallop, diving in and out of drums and emblems and banners and horsemen and go-karts. And whenever the horse heard a drum, he bounced into the hedge on the left, you see, and I would pull him out, and then he'd dive into the hedge on the right.
You sound as if you were in a great hurry in January 1835.
Yes, I was. I was running, as only the young can run. Both away from something and towards something at the same time.
Well, towards your great fame, I know, but away from what, I wonder?
At that time, I was working for the Mirror of Parliament on a salary. Small, but useful. And I was also on the Morning Chronicle, our second leading newspaper, with a daily circulation of 6,000. I was still writing and offering up my stories. A dinner at Poplar Walk was particularly pleasing to me because its odious character, Octavius Button of Poplar Walk, was a fellow club member of Beadnell's.
Beadnell?
A coarse, stupid, and snobbish banker. And a friend of the venomously coquettish, dreaded Mary Ann Lee.
To our dearest Mariah's future.
Throwing yourself away, my boy. Arms for oblivion, I say. This, an expense of spirit in a waste of profitless...
Think of it. Look at it. I'm in print, don't you see, Governor? Oh, the unbearably delicious aroma of printer's ink, sir.
Yes, well, that's all very well, my boy, but what do they pay? Tell me that. Ah, thank you, Nicholas.
Pay? Well, they don't pay, sir. How can they? They have a circulation of 600 and less.
Beware, my boy.
Beware, sir?
Beware of vanity, my son, eh? Pride is a poor partner in the commerce of life.
Surely one is entitled to a small personal satisfaction, sir.
Oh, satisfaction, yes, have some small personal satisfaction, but never allow it to come between you and the real object of the true artist, which is, in a word, my boy, cash, eh? The doubloons, the pieces of 8. Ain't that what piracy is for?
Oh, they'll turn up gold enough in the end, Governor, you'll see.
Oh, that it'll turn up, I have never been in doubt. And when it does, I want the world to know that it is Dickens, Charles Dickens, who has won the victory.
So why ain't you using the family name, my boy, eh? Oh, it would give us great credit if you did.
Some of the sketches may be a little true to life, if you know what I mean, Governor.
Oh, I see. You mean the banker. Still got that silly gal on your mind, have you?
What gal, sir?
Coming back to town soon, ain't she?
Really couldn't say, sir. I have never loved, and I never can love, any human creature breathing but you. But perhaps you'll allow me to tell you this face to face. My sad face to your unforgettably beautiful face. Maria, my very dearest, can you never understand what this separation has meant to me?
My dear Charles, que voulez-vous? One has to be finished.
But Maria, my dearest, must one be finished so quietly? I mean, I hardly had a note from you, and what you wrote was pitifully brief.
Well, some of us are pitifully brief writers, unlike yourself. We're not very good on letters, are we, Daphne, darling?
One would almost think you miss Daphne more than anything else in London.
Of course, I have always realized that you, Charles, are not a true dog lover.
Marianne said...
Marianne said. Of course, I know that you and Miss Lee have found a great deal to talk about, and I've no wish to know what Marianne said.
But Maria, please.
It's our poet, ain't it?
Mr. Beetle, sir.
Ain't you busy in the afternoons, Mr. Dickens? I swear I was always deep into my business in the afternoons at your age. Of course, I must take things much easier since I had me turn.
I'd no idea you'd had a turn, Mr. Beetle, sir.
Poor Papa. We shall look after him in the afternoon, shan't we, Daphne?
So sorry to hear it, sir. I must talk to you, my dearest.
But we are talking, ain't we?
Alone. It's most important.
Oh, Charles, whatever are we to do with you? You really are the silliest boy.
No, letters. Yes, letters is the answer. Letters burning up with passion enough to melt a little iron heart.
I've sent her letters, sir.
Ah, but did you compose them right? I mean, did you let it all flow out over the page like a great tide of spice punch, eh?
I think I may say, sir, that I describe my feeling and position eloquently enough.
Eloquently, yes. Elegant you would be, but, my boy, did you display a wounded, bleeding heart, eh? That's what the ladies like, you know.
Oh, God.
A broken vessel, pouring its love upon the pitiless snows of their virgin nature and melting it. No, I've had much more experience in this sort of thing than you, my boy.
You've entirely
Yes,
misjudged the whole...
no, you must allow me to compose your next missive. Now, let me see. Heart of my bleeding heart. I'm doing this in short... Oh. Well, might as well finish it. In all...
How could you have believed I could discuss such intimate matters with Marianne Lee? The fibber. He did, and most persistently.
Go on.
I am deeply hurt that you could have believed her. How could you have doubted me when we are so close, and I so full of hopes, the loss of which has made me the miserable, reckless wretch I am? Oh, miserable, reckless wretch. Mr. Dickens does, as usual, go on.
Oh, it is most moving. One has to feel sorry for Charles. But then one must also be finished off. Que voulez-vous?
I have made a decision, Maria.
What is it, dear Maria?
I am going to let you read a letter I have received from Mr. Dickens. Here it is. Note the passage underlined. in which the ever-gallant Mr. Dickens observes that he has borne more from you than he believed any living creature breathing ever bore from a woman before.
He never did.
Is that his hand?
It is.
Just read the words of your undying, devoted swain.
No! Wretch! Oh, the humiliation of it. It has all been a most dreadful mistake. Oh, Marianne, how can I ever thank you for saving me from that dreadful boy?
I am glad to have helped my best and sweetest friend. Oh, dearest Maria.
Oh, dearest Marianne.
Sent back your letters, eh? The audacity. I told you, my boy, you should have let me compose them, eh? I tell you this, Charles. I've heard her father ain't even the manager of a bank. What?
I've sent back her letters, and that is that, sir.
Well, I dare say you have the best of the bargain, Charles. Yours will raise more interest than hers in a year or two, I'll warrant, eh?
Too bruised, you sir.
It's your pride that's bruised, Charles. You see, it's your old partner pride, my boy. On the unsettled weather of youth, must needs expect some. Charles. Charles, my dear boy.
It's a single, silly little girl against the great magic lantern of London. Making me endless sketches for my delectation. What is one stupid reader lost, I say, against the thousands gained?
Oh, we can't win 'em all, can we? Here, why not use your own name, Mr. Belleville?
My subtlety. Don't you see? I create curiosity, and later I'll let the world know.
Wise. Very wise. Always keep the public curious and interested. It's a trick we know well enough in the profession. Yeah, by the way, how are your plans going for your theatrical career?
No, I shan't have any time for that now. Drink up. Another round, Betsy. Desdemona, darling girl, come and drink with us.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Beg, little violet-eyed angel, come and quaff a glass of old Tom, the drink of the gods with us. Betsy?
You're in a right old mood tonight, ain't you, Blackie? I don't mind if I do. But, here, take a good look. My eyes ain't violet. They're a lovely, dark, mysterious hazelnut brown. At least, that's what a gentleman told me last week.
He was right, my pretty. Your eternal health. I love brown eyes.
So you may, Blackie, for half a crown. I'm a bargain tonight. I'm a bargain every night, come to think of it.
The world is mine, Desdemona. It is the cause, my soul. It is the cause, my pretty soul. Very charming, genteel, and thoroughly gentlemanly young lady you are, my dear.
And what a thoroughly pickled young gentleman it is. Still, rather nice, though, for all your bad moods.
Heart is broken, Desdemona.
Let's see if we can patch it up then, dear.
Oh, Maria.
It's Mary, actually. How'd you find that out, you clever old cock?
Angel.
Lucky you do say the most pretty things. Stop, Blackie.
Who are you?
Mary. Mariah, Desi, call me what you like. Only kiss me again.
Oh, Maria. Come to me, haven't you? Our little secret.
Come on. Come Come on, dearie.
Let's have fleas for you, or flies for me.
Nearly home now.
This is not Lombard Street.
Almost, dear. Yeah? Another one, eh? Cheeky bugger. Morning, Auntie.
Who's she?
It's only old Auntie Dreams. She'll give us a puff if you like, won't you, Auntie? Come on, Blackie.
It's not Lombard Street. I know it.
Of course it is. At least. It soon will be.
Put on the light. And then... Put on the light.
Quiet, you'll wake the neighbours. Got a bit of candle stuck away somewhere. There. It's better. Now come over here. Make yourself comfortable. Home at last. No place like it, is there? Some rum stuck away somewhere if old Auntie hadn't found it. Will you take it standing up or lying down, sir?
This is not Lombard Street, I know.
Of course it is, you silly old thing.
Is it?
Soon will be when you've had a slug of that. Feeling better?
I've done it all for you. All my work, fame, everything, my work, yes, everything.
Fame?
Yes, even that's for you.
Thanks very much. But I'd rather have a big kiss. Tell you the truth, I fancied you, Blackie. Truly, I do. Always has done. And your sloppy ways. And your big dark eyes. Oh, Blackie. Oh, I love you so. How much better. Oh, come on, Blackie. Please.
Fame. That is the question, my chucks. Or rather, that is no longer the question, since fame has undoubtedly come to the Dickens tribe through the amazing successes of our dearest Charles.
Dearest Charles. Ah, yes, everyone is talking about the sketches.
What a blessing. I dare say it will bring Charles more than a guinea or two, won't it, John?
Guinea or two. Guinea or two. Now, my dearest heart, I'm going to ask you a question, and then you will see why I laugh when you say a guinea or two. And the question is, what did Ali Baba find when he rubbed his lamp and said, "Open, sesame," to the cave opening before his very eyes?
Treasure, Papa?
Full marks, my dear, clever little puss. A treasure it was. And the sketches should be the magic lamp to the great purple deserts of treasure, as large as those in that very cave in far-off Araby.
Treasure? Fancy that.
So that's your inimitable Boz. It is, Mr. Ainsworth. Brought the paper quite a few new readers, he has. I should very much like to meet Mr. Boz. Dickens, actually. Charles Dickens.
So, sir, not for myself, who have no claim upon you, but for my crushed, my sensitive and independent friend who has, I ask for the loan of 2 half-crowns. Now, I ask for the loan of 3 half-crowns distinctly and without blush. I ask it almost as a right. And when I add that they will be returned by post this week, I feel that you will blame me for that sordid stipulation. The victim took from his pocket
Verbal Cruikshank, would you say, Macron? Interesting
it probably
thought.
once belonged to his deceased grandmother. It held 1 half-sovereign and no more. All his worldly wealth until next quarter day. Stay! Cried Sponger, who had watched this proceeding keenly. I was just about to say that for the convenience of posting, you'd better make it gold. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Not on my own behalf, but on behalf of mine, sir, and spirit, sir, and blessed charity.
I don't remember reading that sketch, Dickens. It's very true to life.
True to life it is. And no, I haven't published it. It's the merest note.
Make many notes, do you?
Endlessly. Arms for oblivion, perhaps.
Capital value. Thank you. Yes, it did go down quite well. Have you ever thought of collecting them together in a book? Or maybe even 2 books?
I hadn't.
But I'm delighted to think of it now. And Cruikshank may well be persuaded to illustrate.
But that's wonderful. Is he always as drunk as he was tonight?
Always, but it does seem to help his pen.
I had many ideas which would be perfect for him. Sketches of streets of London.
We should want the copyright for the first edition, of course.
Well, I'm sure we could come to some arrangement. If you forgive a sordid stipulation.
My dear fellow, publishers are attractive to writers only for their ability to make very sordid stipulations.
Mr. Macron, you seem to me to be a very attractive publisher.
Tomorrow morning, if it's convenient to you, at my chambers.
150 pounds, eh, Charles?
And that is only for the first edition, sir.
First, second, 10th, 150 pounds. And to think the Morning Chronicle pay you a miserable 7 guineas a week.
Oh, 7 guineas isn't too bad a salary for someone my age. If only I did...
Yes. Yes, if only you didn't have an indigent parent to support from time to time.
Well, sketches by Boz will make us all a little richer, Governor.
Well, I hope so, Charles. I hope so, my boy. You see, Shaw and Maxwell, the quondam wine people of Woburn Place, are being very pressing and, in a word, rather, not to put too fine a point on it, ungentlemanly as of this moment.
Macron's advance will make a wine bill seem small enough.
Good, good. Well, of course, maybe 1 or 2 other little affairs, eh? Of no consequence. Well, we shall have to move again, eh? And to hell with a credit. 150 pounds, my boy. Gold sovereigns, eh? Do you know that's a devilish considerable sum of money? Do you know what we ought to do?
What, sir?
As this is such an occasion, just to celebrate, why don't we have a drink, eh? Nicholas, a good bottle of wine. Ah, well done, my hearties. Now, let's see, a lick of paint, eh? Oh, Fred is an excellent hand with the paint.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, and paintings. We need paintings. Now, Fred is a first-rate hanger-up of paintings.
Indispensable, Fred.
Thank you, Charles. It's going to be fun living here, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is, Fred.
And, of course, a carpet, eh? Now, Fred is a first-rate layer of carpets, what? And curtains, too. We need curtains. Fred is a...
Why don't we ask Mother?
Fred, I'm afraid, is a fool. Now, your mother must not be bothered with such trifles at this moment. Yes, I can see it all, eh? Furnival's Inn, Holborn. Yes, not a bad address for a young writer. A mercantile marvel. Oh, I swear to you, Charles, We have done well. And, sir, we shall do better.
It'll have to do well enough as it is, Governor.
Oh, tush, my boy. Never think small. 150 gold pieces. Pieces of gold, my boy.
Governor, a few inconsiderate affairs of your own, £35 rent in advance for this palatial residence, a room for you in Hampstead, lodgings for Mother and the children. I won't go on. The recitation is too depressing and quite costly, sir.
Yes, I am a curse to you, aren't I, John?
Oh, come now, Governor. Give me a hand with these books.
No. No, I am a curse to you and your poor family. Oh, my unfortunate wife, your unfortunate mother, these... Oh, God, these unfortunate children. And you, Charles, brilliant, hard-working...
Governor, do stop.
No, I shall never stop praising you for all you are doing with your life and blaming your accursed father for the disgusting... Yes, I say that again. Disgusting failure of his own.
Come now, sir. One should not allow temporary adversities to crush one's spirit. Haven't you often observed that profound truth to me yourself, sir?
I have, Charles, but I'm brought too low, ever to rise again.
You can do it, sir. I know you can.
By God, Charles, your confidence is infectious. I believe I will, nay, I truly believe I can.
There you are, sir.
Except, but no, forget it.
What's that, sir?
Nothing. Nothing. Oh, well, if you insist. I mean, after all, who else do I have to talk to in this unfriendly world?
What is it, Governor?
Well, you see, a guinea or two would keep the quondam wine merchants bay for a week or two, during which time I am totally convinced that something of extraordinary interest and profit will inevitably turn up. Need I say more?
No, you need not, sir. That is all there's left.
What? All? What? 150 pieces of gold, all gone?
Yes, sir.
Oh, really, my boy. You must battle against this tendency towards extravagance, squandering money on rent when the wine bill is left unpaid. Well, it's the badge of all our tribe. Well, I shall leave you in your perfect setting to proceed with your own career, eh? Onwards and upwards, my boy. Oh, thank you, Fred. You know, Fred is an excellent hander out of hats. Onwards and upwards.
Fred?
Yes, Charles?
Attend. An author ought to consider himself not as a gentleman who gives a private or eleemosynary retreat, but rather as one who keeps a public ordinary at which all persons are welcome for their money. I must spend more money, Fred. I must.
Money, Mr. Dickens. No doubt you have heard of it, sir. The bill from Shaw and Maxwell for Madeira alone is... Let me see. Don't bother to look, Fanny, dear. I will tell you what it is, Mr. Dickens. It is money, money, money that we do not have, didn't never have, but money which you nevertheless have spent, sir. That's what that is. Oh, that is what. Oh, John, how could you?
My dear wife and daughter, I can only say again, this comes to me as a shock and a surprise and a most unexpected circumstance which, nevertheless, I am confident will be shortly rendered insignificant by a major change in my financial circumstances, which I am hourly awaiting.
Oh, Papa, we have heard about all that before.
Just a moment, miss. I would ask you not to address your father in such a suggestive tone.
Mamma,
I will not have suggestiveness.
Thank you, my dear, but I will not take umbrage. My distinguished daughter is far too regarded by me ever to cause me umbrage. Oh, there, my love. Wipe your tears, my sweet.
And what, may I ask, if I take umbrage, I wonder?
My dearest heart, do I not know the sanctity and sweetness of your disposition to be such that umbrage is something you would never take?
Oh, dear. I do hope Charles stays famous for a little longer.
Who is it?
My dear Dickens, we have found you.
Oh, Mr. McCrone, come in, sir. Forgive the untidiness. I work most
An
evenings.
American fellow writer, Mr. Willis. He has expressed a great desire to meet you.
Mr. Dickens, it's an honor to meet you, sir. I consider your sketches to be a great innovation in the newspaper world. In fact, I am daring to observe their style in my own poor efforts.
I only hope they bring you as much success, Mr. Willis.
Gentlemen, I suggest we repair somewhere for oysters and a glass of champagne.
Oh, Crone, what an irresistible publisher you are. I, gentlemen, am alarmingly hungry. Fanny, what on earth are you doing here so late?
Charles' father has been taken off.
Is he ill?
Only with his usual complaint, debts.
Tell us another one, Fanny.
I am telling you, Charles. He's been arrested by Shaw and Maxwell.
Condam wine people, as he calls them.
The common undischargeable bankrupt, as I call him.
Oh, easy now, Fanny. Where is he?
Where else but in the sponging house?
Here we go. One more chorus of the same old song.
What are you going to do about it, Charles?
What am I going to do about it, Fanny? Why, raise the wind, of course. What else does a Dickens do in such temporary circumstances?
Oh, Charles, I hope you're not becoming as bad as he is.
Why, Fanny, I only hope that I may prove as good at it.
Yes,
This is the house of George Hogarth, editor of the Evening Chronicle.
it is.
The office informs me that Mr. Hogarth is working at home today.
Yes.
In that case, my gal, would you be good enough to tell your master that Charles Dickens is calling on him?
I will, sir.
May I come in, my gal?
You may, sir. Mr. Charles Pickens to see Mr. Hogarth.
Dickens?
Sorry, sir. Mr. Dahl's chickens. Kate, you're awful. Those puns.
Ah, Dickens, is it you?
Mr. Hogarth, sir. Forgive me for disturbing you at home, sir.
I'm pleased to see you. Girls, please, get out of here.
Oh, Papa, do let's stay. Who is he? I don't know. We must leave Mr. Docking to talk over his terribly important business with Father.
Good Lord, are you all Miss Hogarths?
I'm Georgina. I'm Helen. I'm Mary. And I'm Catherine, sir.
Well, now that Mr. Dickens knows you all girls, please, disappear. And make some tea. I'm delighted to see you, Mr. Dickens. But What brings you here, sir?
Well, I have a request to make, sir.
My dear fellow, anything, so long as it's not money.
Actually...
Say no more. I see it is money. I know the appearance of a young author in such of funds extremely well.
Well, since you mention it, Mr. Hogarth, an advance against my small contribution to the Evening Chronicle would be of immense value to me at the present time.
My dear fellow, I know exactly how you feel, but, well, financial matters are not really within my province.
Well, of course, yes. I realize that you are too deeply involved in musicology, your reminiscences of Sir Walter Scott, to concern yourself with such matters. What I really wanted, Mr. Hogarth, was the benefit of your great experience, your advice, sir.
Advice is free, my boy. You may have any amount of advice.
Well, then, say I was to present to you several contributions in advance of copy date. I wonder, would you feel inclined to use your influence to encourage an advance? The smallest advance would be more than welcome.
Well, it would be most unusual. I mean, why should we require to hold so many of your contributions in advance of copy dates?
Well, there you see, sir, is the precise point. And most like your experience it is, sir, to have brought you to it at once.
What point was that, may I inquire?
Well, the point is, sir, that I'm under great pressure from several other papers and magazines to supply them with sketches. Now, while I myself would prefer to remain in my present close relationship with both the chronicles, well, I have, as I explained, this present emergency to meet.
Are you saying, Mr. Dickens, that the Evening Chronicle may lose your contributions if such an advance is not forthcoming?
Mr. Hogarth, sir, such a thought had not entered my mind. But now that you have formed it, sir, well, I...
Say no more, my boy. You've made your point extremely well. And I think I can assure you that any influence that I may have will be used to effect you the advance that you require.
Thank you 1,000 times, Mr. Hogarth, sir.
Not so many thanks. The advance will, I assure you, be too small to justify them. Your work and determination intimate to me, Mr. Dickens, that you have the makings of a true professional author.
Oh, indeed, I hope so, Mr. Hogarth. I would take as my model Sir Walter Scott, your own fabled intellect.
Sir Walter would never have thanked you for such an intimation. He always saw himself as a gentleman who happened to write.
Well, in that case, Mr. Hogarth, let me say that I propose to be a writer who happens to be a gentleman.
Very good, sir. But now, since it's too early for anything more interesting, perhaps you'll stay for tea. Catherine!
I would be delighted to take tea with you, sir, some other time. But as of this moment, I'm afraid I'm rather committed.
But, my dear fellow, you've only just arrived.
I would be delighted to, sir, some other time. And I must apologize for interrupting your great work on musical history. Many thanks, sir, and good day to you.
Oh, are you leaving so soon?
I regret that I must, but I will return very soon.
I hope you will, Mr. Dickens.
You have my name right at last.
I had it right at first. But I'm sometimes overwhelmed by an irresistible compulsion to make puns.
I suffer from the same disorder myself. We must make puns together.
I should like that.
Goodbye, then. Good day, sir.
Her father is far away, and I really must put this tea tray down.
Allow me to ask you something.
Yes?
You don't entertain, I hope, a pet dog?
A dog? Oh, no, I detest the wretched, smelly little objects.
Perfect! Oh, that's perfect!
Has he gone so soon? He will be back before long.
How nice that will be.
Oh, will it indeed? Yes.
Well, Charles, it's your own concern, of course, but half your salary for the next month? How will you manage?
Dickens protects his own, Mr. Black.
How's that?
It's a family motto, sir. Thank you.
Hey, the receipt.
Of course. Drink up, Governor.
Oh, Charles.
Drink up, sir, I say.
You will be free of this old man of the sea one day, Charles. You will not always be asked to play Sinbad.
I hope that I shall, sir. Always. Remember, he found a genie in a bottle.
Did he? Yeah. Damned if I ever did. Still right, Charles. No point in brooding, is there? Best to drink up like a man, eh? Charles, I was thinking, if they put me in that damn sponging house again, they'll have to give me a lease on the wretched place. Well, you seem in better spirits yourself, my boy. Is it merely the pleasure of winning yet another battle for an old man's decayed honor? Well, I hope you have a better reason than that.
Things are going well enough generally, you know, Governor. I care nothing for the temporary embarrassments of life. The general movement is onwards and upwards, I'm glad to say.
Oh, well, good. Good. Anything else,
Well, I've met some rather charming people.
Ah.
Family of George Hogarth, editor of the Evening Chronicle, sir.
Oh. Has he got a great slew of daughters, by any chance?
4.
4? Oh, well. Onwards and upwards, eh? 4, indeed. Almost an audience.
He's ready for them as well. Oh. The Morning Chronicle, the Evening Chronicle, the Monthly Magazine, and now this. The devil drives that young fella.
Is it Mr. Dickens you're talking of, Papa?
Ah, he works like a demon, does that Dickens.
Oh!
What is it, girl?
There's a terrible face at the window. Look, my gracious! Whoever is it?
Oh, go away, you horrid person.
Afternoon! Oh, the only to sail your ship is your raging double bubble trick as you haul away your anchor. Perhaps these right young girls will thank you as you leave them on the quayside and you kiss them quick.
What the devil was all that about?
Oh, I feel quite faint.
What a funny person.
Oh, he must be a beggar or something.
Probably wounded at the Battle of Trafalgar.
Still, what impudence.
I'll go.
I still feel quite faint. Oh, don't you think we should do something about it, Papa?
About what, my dear?
About that man who came in.
Dickens, what a surprise.
Oh, a pleasant one, I hope.
Oh, very pleasant. But you've just missed the most extraordinary thing, though.
What was that?
A funny old sailor jumped in, did a hornpipe, and then jumped out again.
No.
I think he was wounded at the Battle of Trafalgar.
Oh, Dickens, have some tea, since it's too early for anything better. I'll just finish these notes here.
Good day to you, sir. How sorry I am to have missed your strange sailor.
Yes, it is a shame. Nevertheless, if you should run into the old chap, why don't you give him back this bit of his beard he seems to have forgotten?
Oh, Mr. Dickens, it's so nice to have you for tea.
To have tea with you, Miss Mary, is to be in heaven.
Huh?
Dickens? Yeah. We just had a sailor in here. Most extraordinary character. It'd make a good subject for one of your articles in the...
yes, indeed.
In the Morning Chronicle, or the Evening Chronicle, or the Monthly Magazine, or even Bells.
Yes. Someone mentioned tea.
I wonder you've time for tea in view of all your other commitments.
Time, Mr. Hogarth. I have all the time in the world, sir.
Tea, girls!
But I'm losing time. Now, what the devil is Cruikshank up to?
My dear fellow, we can hardly dictate delivery dates to George Cruikshank. After all, he is our most famous cartoonist.
That is why he's illustrating my book, Miss McCrone. Now, his delays are wasting publication time, and he needs a touch of the spur. That is all I'm saying.
Well, I will do my best, of course.
But Cruikshank is something of a law unto himself, and he is very busy. And am I not very busy, writing sketches all night, dashing around England like a lunatic all day? Now, about the title of the book. I was thinking we could call it Bubbles from the Brain of Boz. What do you think? Quite pointless. The subject is sketches by Boz with cuts by Cruikshank. Well, I hardly think you'd enjoy that, Billy. Well, I must leave you to deal with that. I have to leave for Bristol. But what about your meeting with Cruikshank? I have nothing to say to him except this. His delays are wasting my time. Now, he may do what he likes with his own life, but neither he nor anyone else will ever waste mine.
As soon as Lord John Russell finishes speaking, you'll dash to Marlborough in the shade, transcribing your notes as you go.
I hope I can move so fast.
Oh, you will, Beard, you will. At Marlborough, a horse express will be waiting to rush the report to London.
Is that necessary?
Absolutely essential. The Times have only thought of having a shay and four all the way. A rider on horseback will beat them hollow.
I suppose you are right.
I'm absolutely certain I am. We shall beat the Times, Beard. We shall be the fastest reporters in the game.
Gentlemen, Mr. Dickens is magnificent, incredible. Hold on! We've beaten the Times! Boz has done it! It's a great triumph.
He really is an amazing young man. You know, he sings a very excellent comic song as well.
The devil he does. We shall take him off everything but the most important occasions. Any damn fool can pass a judgment on a book or a play, but Boz can do better things. He can create work for other people to criticize.
I'd be so happy if you'd inscribe it for me.
But my dear girl, yes, I thought so. It's a first edition. A first English edition. Where on earth did you get this?
I bought it at a bookstall near the Bowery for 5 cents.
Well, so much for fame and success.
Oh, don't feel too badly about it. I found it between a King James Bible and Pope's Essay on Man.
Well, I always like to keep good company. And the company is so very good. For me.
For me, too.
I wish I could say... I'm sorry.
I wonder if...
Yes.
Nothing.
No, please. Say.
It's so kind of you to inscribe it for me.
Oh. And dedicated to you. To Miss Harriet Baldwin, a friend in New York.
I hope so. Truly, I do.
From a grateful Charles Dickens. There.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's so very little.
Mr. Dickens.
Yes?
I'd very much like to see you again. There, I've said it.
Yes, you're braver than I. But then you're so very much younger.
That isn't important.
I wish it were not.